You know, you never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. Classic conversations with JT and Low. Classic conversations with JT and Low. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. Classic conversations with JT and Low. You never know which way the rhetoric. Classic conversations with JT and Low. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. It's classic conversations with JT and Low. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. Classic conversations with JT and Low. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. It's classic conversations with JT and Low. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. Classic conversations with JT and Low.
Hey, yo, what's happening, people? Y'all know what time it is. It is 9 p.m. and it's time for Classic Conversations with JT and Low.
And my man as a cop. Say he on his way. We'll see.
Yeah, you know how when people tell you they're around the corner? Yeah, he's around the corner, so he'll be here shortly. Got some great topics tonight. I want you to be a part of them, please. Telephone number 404-500-1605. Want you to keep hitting those buttons over there, the like button, the love button, the hug button. What else is over there? The get angry button. You can even cry or be surprised. Either way, it's going to help my
algorithm
go up because, as I've told you, week after week, we are now on Amazon Music. We are also on Spotify, and we have a YouTube channel, and I need for you to go subscribe to all of those channels. Listen, doesn't cost you a thing, people. I've been saying this. I don't think everybody believes me. It doesn't cost you a thing. We're not going to ask you for your credit card information, nothing like that. Just go ahead and hit the button and subscribe, and then hit the next button and share. That's what I need for you to do. So we're going to get going, and you know what? I'm not even going to ask about the weekend, man. We're going to get started just like this. Today is Angelo's birthday, people.
Birthday boy.
Shine a light on him. Yeah. Shine a light on him.
I know that's right.
Shine a light on him.
So happy birthday, brother.
Shine the light.
Shine a light on him.
Too funny. Appreciate
Happy
it,
birthday
Glenn.
to you, man.
Thank you, sir.
Birthday. You know, I
appreciate it, man.
How was your day, guy?
Well, I had a great day, Teasy. You know, me, I'm such a simple person, folks. You know what I mean? People, folks be asking, I got some candy for my birthday, and I thought that was the coolest gift.
But damn,
Lemon heads, of course.
Look, I wish you told me that before I went and got what I got. No, I'm playing.
I got 3 Musketeers. You know what I mean? I'm just so freaking simple, but I did get some nice stuff. You know what I mean? Some nice stuff came across the desk. Some new gear. I go ask a cop. I ain't got to keep saying it all night now. Good job. Appreciate it. Good to see you. But yeah, man, but the day was a great day, man. A lot of quality time with the fam. You know what I mean? Dinner. My kids gave me 2 nice cars, man. But, the cars mean a lot, but their words they write mean so much more. You know what I mean? Comes from the heart. And it's always cool, when you see Facebook tell everybody your birthday, so it make it real easy for you. But it's cool when people just do that stuff, but it's also cool when they put the extra, the actual time to put comments. I think that's really dope. Especially, I try to do that, some people as well, especially if I felt like they meant something to me or whatever. So, I had a great day, man. I'm really excited. To know me is to know I don't really trip over holidays and all that good stuff. I take things, But, birthdays, I think, are the one thing that you're supposed to celebrate. I don't really get down with all the other stuff, but I do believe in birthdays because, shoot, that's your day of your birth. I mean,
It's your born day.
Hey, you're born. There's only 2 things on your tombstone, right?
Yeah. You already.
Hey, you know what I'm saying?
That's one of them.
That's one of them.
You don't think about the other ones.
Yeah. So, those things mean a lot, man. So I'm excited. But let me tell you, man, I add a little wrinkle to this to last night. So last night though, I was invited. I hung out with our brother T.I. for about 6-7 hours last night.
Oh wow.
Yeah, man. He asked me to roll with him, man, and we went to Lil Duval. They had a birthday dinner for Lil Duval last night, and we went to one of my favorite restaurants, House. I had my favorite meal, sea bass.
He doing big things.
Hey, and to be able to go there and get some sea bass at House, and his own tips dime. Oh,
You got extra seasoning.
what a great night. You know what I mean? And we went down there. My first time ever going to what's the place called? The bank. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yo, hold on. No, you was outside.
The old bounce. That's what it was. I kept saying it was the old nightclub. I was outside.
Low was outside.
Hey, everybody I told that to. Everybody had the same response. Y'all said, they should say, "Don't bake it."
Yeah.
Hey, everybody said the same thing. Hold on, you was on bacon? Yeah. Yeah, man. I just said it. Who? Will? Who? Okay. Yeah, there's somebody else, but we won't even call it. But all right, yeah. But anyway, you know, okay.
Yeah.
Cause I know, but it was. Hey man, but that place is nice.
I've heard it's really nice.
JT,
I've
I
heard
was
it's a real
thoroughly.
nice
They put some money in that joker now.
Really?
What? I walked in, I
heard
wasn't
it was really
expecting
nice,
that.
bro. I heard, you think of what it was, and of course,
Where?
you say, I ain't going over there. Yeah.
I wouldn't have went over there for another reason.
Right, because pictures online have you thinking something looks really nice till you walk in there. Yeah.
Well, you went with the president of Bankhead, so you can go where you want. Like,
Felt pretty good.
Yeah,
you know
or
what I mean?
TIF.
And
Yeah.
then he gets VIP access. We got to roll in the back gate and all that stuff. So it was cool,
Danny
man.
Boy, the president.
Uh-oh.
That might be the VP. But Danny Boy,
Yeah,
the
so
president.
see, it was cool, man.
Okay.
I had a good pre-birthday and a great birthday, and now I'm here to chop it up with y'all, man. So now it's complete. Everything's
stuff.
good.
Good stuff, man. Good stuff. Ask a car. What up, bro?
Hey,
We missed you last week, homie. How everything going? You good?
yeah, you know that family thing's still going on, so that keep me down.
We was talking about that. So we was actually hoping it wasn't that. But at the same time, since it was a last minute thing, we were saying, well, maybe that's what it was. We can forgive him.
Cause I was actually on my way. Now turn back around, so you know. But yeah, just had a good week this week though. Things going better. Got to get out, get a little bit. Sister helping out, so
Okay.
good to go.
All right. Sugar Sean is in the building. What's up, bro?
Yo, nothing.
Yo,
We just outside. Wish Low would have told me he's gonna be outside last night. I done really been outside. Yeah. Let me find out Low was popping bottles.
We had a good time.
But you know, I just know you got the jewels on too. You see the you see the Steelers joint?
Yeah,
you was really outside. VIP with a cigar. I see you. Okay. We doing big things out here. It's getting real in the field.
You know what it is, brother.
Yeah, they asked a cop, he was security, he came with you? You know?
Not this time.
Yo. Yeah, I love my life.
Man, after college, we've done enough.
Way too much.
He said, we've done enough. He don't need no flashbacks. He's like, that's not him, ask a
No,
cop.
these little niggas carry Dracos now. You definitely don't need no flashback.
Yeah, ask a cop, gonna call the police?
Down, I'll speed down.
Yo, right away.
So I got all these
prepared to do it
things
no
here. Go ahead, my bad. I was jumping the gun. Go ahead.
Well, me, as you can see, I'm wearing the shirt. This is the week of God, guys. If some of my words sound a little crazy tonight, it's because I'm tired, because I've been talking all day. We've been rehearsing all day of a play. All day we've been rehearsing with the cast, and we're actually on site, getting blocking and everything down, getting everything down. So it was dope. First time I've ever been that nervous before a performance, and it was only a rehearsal. I mean, bro, I was so nervous. I felt like I had to go to the bathroom and couldn't go.
Wow.
I was that nervous because this is the first time, as I've been saying, first time that I'm actually doing a play where I'm not just stepping in, saying some lines, and then leaving, waiting to the next scene.
Okay.
I'm out there the whole time, speaking for like 8 to 9 straight minutes, just me.
It's good stuff.
Yeah, it was nerve-wracking, to be honest with you. I couldn't go to sleep last night. This morning, I woke up, but then I couldn't get up. I'm laying in the bed going over my lines. It was crazy. It was crazy. But Nash said that it's an old church, the bank. Ron Godfrey, he's tuning in. He said, happy birthday, Low, keep grinding.
Appreciate you, brother.
And you know what
I talked about you and Ron, JT and Ron last night too. Good.
You know what it is, Got to get you your favorite always,
Yes,
but
sir,
I wish I could have got you some lemon heads. I probably could have got you a whole lot.
You gotta get off a little bit better, man. But you did good. You did good. Listen, you did good. Don't you worry about that. Don't have to listen to me all the time. yeah, man.
But you know what, man? As I made the post today about you, I said that we've known each other for 20 years, and I recognized, man, we've known each other about 30 years.
Damn, you're getting old as fuck.
Right under 30 years.
It's been long. Yeah.
For real.
Yeah.
My man Eric, he went on the post and he said, happy birthday. He said, man, when I first met that dude on the field, I wanted to destroy him because he talked so much shit.
Low like that one.
Oh, bro. Hey, man, on the football field, bro, I started
That's
out playing
hilarious.
against him.
Yeah.
He played corner on the side of the opposing sideline. He always was over there. Little short dude, number 21 on, talking.
Yeah.
I mean, talk.
You was your lockdown corner 21 Deion Sanders number. You was locked down?
I did my thing.
Ah.
That's all I tell you.
So you was really on the outside.
I wasn't scared of nothing or no one.
Yeah.
Hold on, nothing?
Nothing.
Oh, yeah, island boy today.
But,
no
man,
one.
because we've known each other for so long, I figured I'd get you too, bro.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm talking about, man.
Hey.
Long time. Over 20 years, you got to get more than just one cigar. You know what I'm
that's
saying?
what's up.
So figured I wasn't gonna get you something different, but I
That's what we did
figured
with good people right there,
I
man.
just gonna get you two of what you like. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, man. That's what I'm
figured
talking about.
I would go ahead and
Thank
do
you,
that.
sir.
But,
Thank you, sir. I
you know,
appreciate that.
So let's go on and unveil those other gifts that you got there.
So before we wrap it up, as y'all know, number one fan, my mom and my aunt went to Ireland. They've been gone for a week, and they just made it back. And so number one fan said, do not open this. And as everybody saw, I did not unwrap it until I was sitting right here. You saw me asking cop.
I saw you.
Okay.
I like the wrapping paper.
So these all came straight from Ireland. And she said that I'm supposed to share these with with my podcast members.
Oh, wow.
So I don't know if there's anything particular for anybody in particular because I don't see no names.
Are we
I don't know if
supposed-
I'm away for instructions or what.
Yeah, we wait for instructions. I didn't know we were supposed to
we
bring
don't
it
mess
tonight.
up.
She didn't say.
Do it another day.
She just said, do not open this until you get on the podcast. So I did not open until I got here. But these are all some straight Irish
Yeah,
whiskeys.
real Irish
straight
whiskey.
from Ireland. I mean,
Wow.
hot off the plane press.
It looked like it's off the plane.
Yeah.
And then my mom bought this right here, Napa Gold
Castle.
Castle. What did you say?
Dude, I be getting it wrong.
Oh, I thought you were saying it. So one's
Out of my
age 12
wheelhouse.
years, one age 14, one age 16 years. And she also brought me a big bottle, but Robbie wouldn't let that come to the podcast. She said ain't nobody they're gonna try to crack it open, so she took it home.
You know we would have. I'm off the wagon.
Tonight would have
too.
been
I
the
done
night,
fucked it up.
actually, Robbie. Tonight would have been the night because I'm actually not drinking tonight.
But he said he is, so it's still about
Yeah.
Oh, that's
I'ma
right.
just
You
smell
all
it.
back in.
You back?
Yeah.
I'm gonna just smell it. Let me see what you got.
I ain't got nothing yet.
his deal with God has been passed and approved.
Deal with God. That was a long length.
Oh man. But you know it was good. It was good. It was, I wasn't just blurting things out like I used to.
Well, he's gonna do it tonight, buddy. He's back.
But anyway, they made it back, man, safe and sound, and that's what's up. I think I did all my instructions. I think I did all my instructions. Okay.
Good deal. Good deal. Hey, Ron, yeah, he said he wished he could make it to the play. Of course you're nominated for a few awards. Of course you are, Ron. What else do you do but get awards? Appreciate
Ron,
that, man.
There was a lady came by here. Hold on. 'Cause I talked about Ron and you because she stopped by the club. Let me find her name.
The bank?
See if y'all nah, this.
He's having fun.
But she was Real Rebel was the movie production company, Real Rebel. Okay. And she said she got three movies on Tubi right now. They're filming another movie and they were looking for some actors. So you know the actors? I said, as a matter of fact, I do.
Okay.
So,
Well, yes.
I said,
information.
I mentioned you, I mentioned Ron, and I told her, I said, sure, I said, between them guys, they can probably get you anything you need, you know what I mean? So anyway, I got information. Well, she gonna hit me up, and once she does, I'll pass it on to you.
Just make sure JT don't drink no water because he be having to pee.
Hey, Ron, I'll make sure to get that information to you, bro. All right, so listen, y'all, we got some good stuff coming tonight, man. We're going to talk about our culture. We're going to talk about things that's going on with our people, and we're going to try and figure out where does it come from and how do we correct it. So give us 3 minutes, and we'll be right back. Classic Conversations with JT and Low.
And that's a cop.
You outside.
I said, Willie Beeman is JT.
It's 73. It's small. It's 714.
All right, man, we back. We are back. Classic Conversations with JT and Low.
And that's a cop.
404-500-1605, man. Please be a part of this conversation.
We'll talk about Jimmy Butler before we start.
Who?
Jimmy Butler and that
What about
he
him?
threw up.
About what?
Changed the whole game.
Hey, man, he was great. Jimmy Butler was done. He was.
Oh, they wouldn't be there without him, but
Yeah,
dude,
he was
that was
worn
like,
out.
that's some Chris Webber shit right
Yeah,
there.
he was worn out. He threw that bad three-pointer up at the last part of the game, and the turnover before that.
The turnover for that really
Sorry,
hurt.
y'all. We started talking about the NBA Finals real quick.
He was,
yeah,
but
he was done.
he tried to drive, and Jokic stepped up.
Yeah.
But I thought he was gonna pull up. Surely he didn't think they were gonna let him drive
He did
again.
that a lot. He drove and didn't shoot.
And didn't shoot it.
Yeah, he did that a lot. Yeah, he did that a lot.
Both teams actually played terrible. That was a terrible basketball game on both sides of the ball.
Until the last part.
They shot. I mean, Denver shot 18% from the three.
Yeah.
And still won the game. You're not supposed to win the game with 18%.
Well, see, the thing was that one dude kept on jacking up. When you got
You know,
Joker, the MVP, they should have fed him the ball.
come to the mic.
Huh?
Said Mike. The Mike.
Hey, it's been a while. I'm like, yeah, I just kept on
All right,
going.
man. So let's roll into this. I wanted to go over this real quick about the Atlanta City Council has made another effort to keep young people in the city safe through the proposal of an adjusted teen curfew of 7 p.m. Many people aren't aware that there's already an existing curfew on the books for 11 p.m.
Many people, to include everyone.
Right.
Go ahead.
There was a penalty that parents could spend up to 90 days in jail and face a fine up to $1,000. But the new proposal supposedly eliminates those consequences. So I'm interested to see what the new consequences would be. I just don't see how they're going to be able to do a curfew.
It didn't work in the past. It's not going to work now. When you lock up a juvenile, officers sometimes stay 4, 5, 6 hours over after the shift because they cannot locate the parents. And that's a common problem in Atlanta. Just because they're ordaining, it's not going to make, but they barely have enough officers to fill the patrol cars to patrol the streets in Atlanta. They're actually going on calls. It's very smoking crack if they think officers are going to not handle 2969, that's a fight with a gun, or fight calls, or robbery calls, or patrolling for break-ins. No, they're going to start patrolling for juveniles, but they're going to get, and now we're going to stay past their shift. Come on. It's not happening.
They're going to get overtime.
No, they get overtime now. They got more. They cannot find officers to work the overtime.
Right.
Because they're getting enough of it. So they
Yeah,
don't
you
need
got,
it.
exercise jobs are paying 75, 85 an hour because to stand in front of clubs.
I mean, is there any real way to really
That's what
enforce
I've been
that?
saying.
I mean,
Well,
it's just
I
something
know
they're putting
one.
out there for the public. Just say we're doing
just to
something.
make-
But
exactly,
there's no
that's
way you
all
can
it
really.
is.
It's too
You
many
can't enforce
juveniles.
And
You're
it's too
outnumbered. You're outnumbered.
Not in a city this
I don't know how
large.
many to one.
And then, are you really now?
No, you're not. We're
no,
not.
You're not gonna be
Not in,
You're
not in a
And
city
you
this
catch
large.
that
You
kid
can't do
that
it.
can't find his mama? Oh, hell no. She out clubbing? Oh, hell no. You
Yeah.
stuck with that motherfucker.
You know why they could do it? They got to bring one thing back. Remember at 10 o'clock, we used to come on the news. Do you know where your children are? They be like, oh, the curfew.
No, Wayne Williams
And they
is,
come
Wayne
outside.
Williams is in jail. That's the only way to get him
They
back.
remember. They be like, oh, we got to go look for our kids. Our parents got reminded to look for us.
Nah, but I just can't see it, man. It's like they have to come up with something to entertain those kids, have something for them to do. Like there's no skating range, there's nothing for them to do. But then when you give them stuff like that, they shoot it up.
Yeah.
Man, lady got
So-
shot at Piedmont Park yesterday watching guys play
Watching guys play
basketball.
basketball. I was
She's
gonna
sitting
go
on the
over that,
bench
too.
and
Yeah.
get shot in the hand just watching
Yeah.
people play basketball. I mean,
And they
where
wonder
can
why-
you go?
And they wonder why
where can
people
you go?
take down goals, which is sad.
That
Kids can't even,
that big
you
boy
can't go
was
nowhere to
he
hoop no
wasn't
more
on the run
because they
for
take
a hot
down goals.
15 minutes before they caught him. They caught him quick.
But
Was it?
well, it was a reporter who was in the area, so he was able to record it. You know what I mean? Catch the pictures. He just happened to be in the area, so he got him running. Yeah, and then when I identified, yep, that's him.
Yeah, that was quick.
But I learned,
Bang,
I
bang.
just learned today that the young 16-year-old girl got killed is another situation. Because I don't know who said it last time we talked about that about the parents enforcing and things of that nature. Well, the mother of the girl told her she could not go to that party
That was the one in front of the school.
at Mays.
Yeah.
And she ended up going anyway and lost her life.
That
But-
happens all the time.
Yeah.
Women, it happens a lot of times, and I'm not talking about the murder, but as far as kids will go over one parent's house and that one
Thank you,
parent's the
Dre.
same parent, that's a parent that's headed out to the club, and there's 5 kids spending the night over the house. None of them don't even hit the door. They either go to their boyfriends or going out. So you got 6 juveniles. You know where they end up? On 17th Street, walking around, making it where you can't go out with your wife, your girl, because it's packed so.
I mean, that been going on forever, though, right?
Yeah,
I
but I'm
mean,
just
we all
saying,
did that.
it's
We
all
found
good.
that house.
Nah, but it's different. They're just rude. They're rude. They're violent. You can't say nothing to them without them cuss you out. If they see you walking, they're not going to respect you and your girl. You got to walk around them in the police.
I take the rude part.
Yeah, it ties up a lot of man hours and calls. And you can't, and then 90 days in jail isn't realistic because a lot of them is legit. It's a single parent. She's working. She left them home with the 16-year-old. The 16-year-old dipped and then they dipped, or the 16-year-old wanted to go with his friends, so she took him too. So I think one way that it may work is make a daycare centers where there's 24-hour sleep-ins and stuff like that, where they play games and they have adults monitoring it, like at the
teenagers?
gyms. Yeah, I mean and have like a PlayStation.
24 hours sleeping at a gym,
You said
co-ed.
daycare. that's
Well,
what I
not
was
co-ed,
thinking
or
of.
just
Daycare?
Well, you gotta have something. Well, I'm saying you gotta have something different. But if you don't find up, like maybe have them hook up a bunch of PlayStations and have boys in this gym, girls in that gym, and have people to monitor. But there's no police there, so you still can't do it because you can't have them together without police. So everything you can do is hindered by the lack of discipline now.
There's gonna be a
Remember,
lot
they
of
used to have
pregnancy.
a, midnight basketball league.
Yeah, something like
Yeah,
that.
and
Yeah.
it
They still
it
do
wasn't-
here and there.
They still do. I know that
JP
it wasn't
does one at his church.
midnight, but they actually did it. The game started about 9, and it would go to like 1 or 2. They would have grills out there. This was before guns was everywhere. So I don't. Well, he said he's doing it now, but doing it at a church is one thing. This wasn't at a church, if I remember. I don't think it was at a church, but I played in it a couple of games, and then I recognized this wasn't where I was supposed to be. This was for a certain type of person, and I wasn't that type of person.
Yo, you know what's so dope about that? It's like I think that they're doing it. It's just they're not getting a voice. Like it's not being promoted. Like because every time I turn on the news, you see the mayor, we got the midnight basketball, we got this going on, we got that going on. It's just not being promoted as much and getting as much publicity as it should get. I think that they focus in on the ever negative shit that be going on.
Kids have nowhere to get to the places. there's really nothing for them to do. And I'm not changing. They need to be dealt with, but you also got to realize your ass in a lot of these places have no air. It's 100-some degrees outside, so you don't want them. You say you don't want them hanging out. They hang out, they're gonna get moved on, pushed on. But so what they're gonna do is end up going downtown. That's what all of them do. They steal a car to go downtown, then they steal a car to get back home. And
But realistically, though, this is something that's been going on forever, though. We did that. I mean, let's be real. We're going to be real on the show.
we did.
We all did that shit. I mean, we all was outside. I mean, if you was outside, we was outside. I mean, it was just, I did it. All right, I'll just say me. I did it. Like, I was outside. Like, you go out, it's a bunch of kids. I mean, the neighborhood really raised you after while your parents is working. You outside.
The difference between
you get into
then
shit.
and now is you could be outside and it'd be okay.
Yeah.
People weren't getting shot. Bruh, folks getting shot. When's the last time you seen a day where some kid didn't get shot? Somebody everywhere you are in the city.
But I mean, that was happening back then.
No, it was not.
The murder rate was higher
it was
in New York City in the 90s and 80s than it is now.
But it wasn't.
Cats was getting shot. But they, you know what it is? They didn't die because they was getting shot with 22s. I mean, you get shot with a 22, you got a chance to live, right? It's like a BB gun. Pop, pop. Oh, shit, he shot me. That's my man. We good. It's like playing tag.
I'm talking about kids, bro. I'm talking about teenagers.
Teenagers, that was going on. He was getting shot.
Folk were fighting back then, man.
People got
they were getting
bullet
stabbed. They
holes.
were getting stabbed more than getting
Stab,
shot.
dropping nuts, somebody get hit in the head with a brick,
I mean,
occasional bat, something
cats
like
was
that.
getting shot, man. Like, I mean, it was.
We're not saying people weren't getting shot. People
It
always
was the
get
crowd that
shot.
you were
but-
stealing cars with that were getting shot.
Listen, I don't know about stealing no cars, but yo, things was happening.
Jersey
Like
Drive.
you put a group of motherfuckers together, then somebody got beef with somebody, and then all of a sudden, bang, things happen, and you just start running, and then you go home and talk about the story.
I would like to disagree and chime in for the Millennial Coalition that lived in Atlanta. Oh.
He said, "Oh,
Okay.
just outside, whatever that is, just outside Millennial Coalition."
Well, like I said, in the 2000s and 1990s, when I was a teenager, we could go to the mall, and the mall be full of teenagers. And we would be at the arcades, we would be at the movies, we would be at Applebee's. Wasn't nobody fighting. We was trying to get girls or something, or trying to, meet our
Get girls,
girlfriends
yep.
up there, you know what I'm saying? And my mom could drop me off before I could drive,
Exactly.
and she could leave me up there for a couple hours, and she could set a time for me, and I could meet her
Yeah,
right in
ass on the
front,
curb
and
waiting.
it was never a problem. Like she didn't worry about me because we wasn't outside to have beef with nobody. And even if, let's say I did have a problem with somebody, let's say in school, and I seen them out there at that place, still wasn't no fighting. And I could have been with all my guys. We could all been with our two groups, and nobody's fighting, because when we go to North DeKalb, we know that if we do something like that, then our moms are not gonna let nobody come back up there. Not just my mom, probably everybody's mom who knows about the fight. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna
You had
shut the mall.
parents.
It's gonna shut the mall down for a second, and people don't like that.
You're
you know
raised
what I'm saying?
by an adult
we like
with
like
morals.
a routine. So we used to like to go to North DeKalb and Avondale Mall. I'm talking about I can
Just
stand these malls
South
for
DeKalb.
South DeKalb for hours,
Just
because it was always something to
you
do in the
said something that
malls.
was big.
You know what I'm saying?
A lot of people
And
back
that's from
then was
Atlanta.
trying to get with a girl, or they was playing sports, or going to the arcade trying to show out for a girl or something like that. It's just a little different. I mean, I'm not out there, so I can't say for sure, but I think it's a little different now. I understand what you're saying, Sean, but it's a little different right now.
I think it depends on the environment you in and where you grow up at. Like, I guess where you was at was a little different, I guess. But these things that are going on now are no different from what's happening. Like, the only difference I see, to me, honestly, is the lack of respect for elders, right? We have more respect for the elders, but cats was getting shot, cats had beef. You go to the mall, you might be going to chill and check girls, somebody popping off. Like, that's just what happens. It's not to condone it, not to say it's right, but it's just saying that they never solved the problem because it's still going on. Because when I was growing up, these things were happening. Like, it's just they never solved the problem. So it's like an ongoing cycle of the same conversation over and over and over again, and they're not stopping the problem. So what is the problem, right? The problem is that at the end of the day, right now, we knew the outcome of what happened, so you need more of us, God, to be more role models than adults, I guess. I don't know. I can't tell you what the answer is to the problem, but you know.
I think the problem is all them folk from New York moving down here to Atlanta. And
Yeah, we showing y'all the right way.
we not violent like that in Atlanta, man. We like chilling, man. We not as violent as you think we are. So that's a New York thing. I
don't know what you talking about, because cats in Atlanta was getting down. Like, you listen to Jeezy music, you listen to T.I., you listen to what was going on in Atlanta. You don't blame it on nobody coming from nowhere else coming down here and causing no problems, because half the cats you come down here, these cats out here in Atlanta know what time it is, and half of the cats come down here, you a victim, because y'all play that country dumb shit where you're not being dumb, you playing with the cats and you setting them up and they victims. So when you in the hood in those areas, that shit go down, but you wasn't in those areas. Like, we talk, that's all T.I. and Jeezy and Gucci Mane talked about. They from Atlanta, and that was in 2098.
So let me say this. I'm not disagreeing with you saying that they said that happened. And I'm not saying that it doesn't happen. I'm saying it was few and far between. You're making it seem like it was more rampant. And what I'm saying is, like I said, when I was a teenager, kids were kids. We weren't out trying to fight. And I'm not saying I ain't get into nothing when I was in college and stuff like that, because I actually probably got into more fights when I was in college, but that was more like me with my teammates. You know what I'm saying? It's a big group of us, and we go out to a party and something happens. You know what I'm saying? With somebody that's probably not even in school. You know what I'm saying? Really, to be real realistic, I used to get into fights with people who weren't in school, and we were the group of guys that were in school ganged up at the party. And I'm not saying ganged up like that. We just go in as a group. You know what I'm saying? There's only one person with a car. You know what I'm saying? Everybody jump in the car, go to the party.
So it's like,
or jump on the shuttle bus and go to the party. But I'm saying, I'm telling you, like, I can count my fights on one hand, and none of them.
But what's the area? Think about it, right? What's the area you grew up in, right? Because when you think of, if you grew up in Bankhead, or you grew up in the Bluff, or you grew up in those. Hold on, let me answer the question. So wait up. If you grew up in those areas, you think your story be the same?
Yes, I grew up.
Let me ask a different question. Not to cut you off, Dwayne, but let me just ask a different question to ask a cop. You're a 30-year retired veteran of Atlanta Police Department, so there's not much that you haven't seen in terms of crime in this city. Do you see a difference from the time you joined the police department to the time you retired from the police department in terms of the street violence of the kids? And how much of that, and this is just something I just thought about listening to them two talk, how much of that do you contribute now versus then? Into back then, in my police time, it seemed like more of it was centered around the actual projects, the actual communities, Bankhead, Jonesboro, all those, all the shootings were surrounded in those communities, where all those communities are now gone, and everybody is.
Thank you, Mr. Franklin.
But I just want to get your thought on that.
You're definitely right about that. When I first came on, but a lot's changed. There's lots changed in the black community. Back when I first came on, the black family was more structured, and even the neighborhoods took care of the problems. You didn't see kids roaming the streets. When they did, they got out of the streets. So it was even the criminals back then. It was that old saying, it was honor among thieves. Respectful. Like, hey, what's up? Officer Lewis, boom, boom, boom. I think where it started changing was the first time I saw it get real violent when I went to Red Dog and the Miami Boy War started. That was 89, 90 when the Miami Boys came in, and that's the most violent Atlanta. There was a shooting here, I think it was either June or July, there was a shooting every day. And they were dropping them and so that was a change, but it was still decent. If you weren't, Atlanta back then, if you weren't looking for trouble, trouble wouldn't find you. If you knew the areas to stay out of, you know not to take your ass to Hernan Homes, Bowen Homes, places like that. But you could go to other places, and there might be some school-on-school rivalry like Greenbrier or South DeKalb Mall. There'd be a little dust up. But kids were respectful. And in Atlanta, one-offs, Red Dog, we put one team to pull up. There may be 40 kids in the street or 50 kids in the street acting a fool. We just get on the bullhorns, hey, we got to get out the car. And then everybody go home. It wasn't throwing rocks. It wasn't cussing. It wasn't no shootings. And so, everything was good. Or they might go to the AU Center, might be at Washington Park chilling. It was no real issue. The level of violence that's occurring now, and at the tail end of my career, it didn't have a purpose. Back in the day when somebody got killed, you know why.
Okay.
They got shot for what was in their pockets.
Okay.
They weren't a victim. They were just a perpetrator. They got perpetrated on. So it wasn't a bad situation, but now it's like just innocent kids are getting shot, and I think it takes away the innocent because a lot of these kids got guns or knives, and they're trying, I gotta protect myself, I gotta have something, and there's a reality to it because the school resource officers aren't those guys. They want those cops. They're more somebody that want that guy, and they decide to go to the school. And some of them legitimately want to do it because they want to help the kids, but it's a little too rough in those schools where kids can't be kids anymore. And that's when I say I coined the term infected. It's not to downplay it, but I just see too many times where poor and the other word is synonymous. And the poor people in Atlanta, the first help call I got that was put in for me was from citizens. They were talking about shooting me, and they overheard it, so they got to a payphone and called and said, tell Oslu don't go down in the cut. The horseshoe that was right over by Hernan Homes. There's a horseshoe that, you know what I'm talking about? In that store, in the alley behind it, I was going down there like I was some dope boys, and they said, and the 63 was put in for me. So, like I said, the people are different. Now you have mothers, and I know that we just
a 63
help call.
Help call.
Oh.
And it's mothers calling, babies having babies. I remember Charles Disco. You would literally see a grandmama, a mama, and her daughter out at the same club. And I think at that point was when, as a society, we're talking about us, it started going down and you started seeing crazy stuff happening. And before, when Red Dog got disbanded, I know they were doing some wrong shit, but when Red Dog got disbanded, the sayings on the street was the biggest gang in Atlanta is Red Dog because we didn't allow gangs. If you were in a gang, Me-Fi Yo got stomped out. Stomped out.
Who?
Me-Fi Yo is a gang in Atlanta.
That sounds like a Chinese
dish. They
dish.
got annihilated. And the Crips and Bloods, if we saw you with a bandana, yeah, you ain't gonna keep it on for long, and you weren't wearing all red
right.
if you didn't go to a school and that was the colors.
What year was this?
That was all through. Red Dog controlled the streets of Atlanta from '89 all the way to. It was disbanded, really. Yeah,
right.
998.
So you made my point. Back to him. Go ahead.
Yeah, so the whole thing, I think, as a whole, we've just gone down because before it'd be a group of kids and they're playing rap music, but it's decent rap music. It's like Run DMC, LL Cool J, Public Enemy, and they weren't wilding out. Now you go down there and they're not just beating each other, they're shooting each other. The AU Center kids can't enjoy Washington Park anymore because the infectors come down there and fuck with them.
So I think even hearing that, right? I think that what the issue is, what it sounds like to me, what you said is, you got a lot of perpetrators, people pretending to be something, right?
No, perpetrators are criminal.
On the perpetrator, criminal. Okay,
criminal.
We're talking police language here. Okay.
Yeah, my bad, criminals.
Oh, perp. I heard perp. You perp, right? You're looking for criminal. Okay, perp. But I'm just saying, it sounded to me like at the end of the day, you got the difference is that you got a lot of guys that's not really about that, pretend to be about that, and it's just happening, right? That's just what you saw in the sea that's going on more. But the things were happening from before because we never solved any of the same problems.
Wow.
Not in Atlanta, well.
Right?
Well, we got to go back after this minute. Got to wrap it up, but we'll be back and we'll continue.
All right, peace and blessings.
You want me to do the comments when we come back? Comments. All right. I'll read some of the comments when we come back. Be right back.
Damn, I got a 10%.
All right, y'all, we back. We back. Classic Conversations with JT and Low.
And that's a cop.
404-500-1605. Hey, man, I need y'all to hit them buttons over there, them red, the heart button, the like button, the hug button. I need you to hit those buttons because it's going to help my
Algorithm.
need it to go up. So keep hitting the buttons for me. You were doing it earlier. I saw it. I'm looking at y'all. So, man, hit the button. Don't tell me you was hitting the buttons when you wasn't. All right, so we got some comments on the last subject. So we're going to go through these comments. And what we're talking about is curfews. To get some of the younger, the teenagers, the kids at home at a certain time. We talked about the differences of back then and now. Now we got some comments in regards to the way it was in New York compared to Atlanta.
Well, no, these just comments in general, and they did have a couple New York comments. But Kiki said parents got to step up and enforce a curfew, not the city council. Appreciate that, Dre Day. Appreciate that, Robbie. A couple more birthday shout-outs. Ola, gents from Ireland. All right, Kiki. When kids stay the night at my house before they're allowed to do anything, I call their parents, and that's something I used to do. But I know kids play on their parents. She would let me go over to the party, but she'll let me go over to Miss Kiki's house. ML Rec Center does that now, I think, with the midnight basketball. Millennium says, so it sounds like a cop is asking people to step up and be parents. Imagine that.
Wow.
Ms. Cat Cole said tomorrow CW Carter on MLK at 8 is the championship. I definitely asked my G-Ma to go to my friend's house over the weekend. Went to my boyfriend's house. I was from Kiki. Man said they just had 22 that would live. No more 9mm on the street.
Told you. Pop. Yo, you got a bullet hole.
Let's see here. Kiki said if her crew sent your crew, we had beef from school. We tore Magic Johnson and Greenbrier up.
That's why they finally had to shut down Magic Johnson.
Cat Cole said they had house parties too. You can't have house parties no more. They shoot up the house parties now.
I ain't know in the world I had my kids
Because
have
you
a house
don't know
party
who's coming to
nowadays.
the party.
Yeah, they shooting up the house parties, man. It's crazy.
You sitting at the party
Appreciate
saying,
that,
hey, man,
KD.
who you here with?
You're
Like,
right.
I'm over here with them. Well, who are they? Who they here with?
Or if you don't let them in like they did in Dullarville, they just sit outside, just wait for you to come out and then shoot you.
Yeah.
Glenn said, this where you from, Sean, New York. Not here in Atlanta. Millennium said they were scrapping inside the Tilt food court, Greenbrier. Key said it was happening, but not as televised. Well, yeah, all that stuff. Social media and television definitely has changed. Absolutely.
I
Nobody
agree
can
with
deny
that. Because some of the stuff you're hearing about, you wouldn't never heard
Nash
about.
said Atlanta dudes are sneaky too.
Yes. They smart.
Kiki said Jeezy not from ATL. She not claiming him. Jesse said kids can't even have talent shows now. Nope.
That's true.
Nash said you folks gonna nuck if they buck. Some of them.
No, if you buck, no. You heard that last night, right? When you was
Glenn
partying?
said that's New York people with that slick talking stuff coming down here talking crazy to us country boys in Atlanta.
I don't know. He said, what, the country boy?
I would agree Atlanta was nothing to play with, but we were scrapping with fists. Jesse agreed it was in certain communities. Eastlake, then they just threw out all the communities. Eastlake, Herndon, Bowen, Bankhead, Shamrock Gardens.
Sounds like
Main
a-
court.
Shamrock
That
Gardens was
sounds-
dangerous.
That
boy.
sounds like a
Harris
lot of
Home.
places to me.
Nah, you know they
Ashley
were the
Course on
projects.
Stanton Road. Jesse said different drugs now, also them perks different than smoking a white boy.
Facts.
Oh, they been the age
All
out
right,
there.
Here we go.
Yeah. Facts.
Smoking the white boy.
Yeah.
Oh, they brought
All
the
right, man,
age
we
out.
got-
We're
gonna-
gonna age right there.
We're gonna move on to this. I don't like to say his
Number
name.
one fan, I did the shout out earlier. I see you was on here now. I don't know if you caught it, but I did shout it out. But you didn't tell me who goes what goes to who. It's just free, so we need to know that part. But everybody see the gifts.
Yeah, we
And I
waiting
did
on-
it
waiting on
online
instructions.
as we start the show.
Yep. We
Per
waiting
your
on
instructions.
So right now we're gonna go on into 45. Y'all can say his name. I don't like saying his name, but
Wait a minute, real quick. Kiki said it's crazy because every single event or party that her son is asked to attend, and she said no, a child was killed.
wow.
And that's crazy, and I believe it.
All right, so your former president is now facing a 37-count indictment from the feds in regards to the classified documents probe. And it's 37 counts, but all the counts are really the same thing.
He gangster.
Willful retention of national defense information, corruptly concealing a document or record, concealing a document in a federal investigation. It's kind of the same thing, but they reworded it for 37 counts.
Go Trump.
Each one of them carries a $250,000 fine with a maximum prison sentence between 5 and 20 years. A lot of people have asked, can Trump still run for president if he's indicted or if he's convicted? Yes, he can. The only requirements to run for president is that you have to be a U.S.-born citizen. You have to be 35 years old, and you also have to have lived in the United States for the last 15 years. No matter what your record is, a felon, whatever, you can run for president, and you can win the seat like that. Now, with all this stuff, but you can, if a person is impeached by the House and convicted by the Senate of high crimes and misdemeanors, he or she is removed from office, and then you're disqualified from serving again. Trump, although he was twice impeached by the House during his presidency, was also twice acquitted by the Senate. So that's why, because he was acquitted by the Senate, that's why he can serve again.
Teflon
So
Don.
now, with all this stuff that's going on, do y'all think that his indictments and accusations actually make him more powerful?
Hell
Yes.
yeah. But
Yes.
you know what's so crazy though?
Yes.
If you could run for president and you could have a criminal record, but you can't vote. How does that even make sense? Like in America, like I could be a criminal, spend 15 years in jail, become president, but I can't vote for that.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
all that.
Right.
But I can't vote. So you might as well go commit crimes, be a perp. You know, like,
That it's crazy when you think of it that way, but it's true.
I look
welcome
at
to
it-
America.
I look at it differently. I look at it like I said before when this shit first started heating up with Trump. They're gonna make Trump, because you know, look at Pence. Pence put his hat in there. Pence tucked his tail between his legs, didn't never speak up. He's gonna do the same thing. I can't see this working. I was on embassy duty, and part of embassy Marine's job is once the midnight shift, we go through and you have to walk through with the cleaning crew because there's a lot of areas that have classified documents. While you're doing that walkthrough, you're scanning desks and searching them to make sure there's no classified documents out. We used to find classified documents, confidential, top secret documents. When we find those, we take the document, put them in an envelope, and do a write-up. Those people would be censured. Nobody was ever sent home. Nobody ever went to jail. It's just a violation. And I know how it looks to everybody, but if you went after every single president that this has happened, their documents, they're handed out at a briefing. Happens all the time. If it's a military action, it's gonna have classified on it, with top secret or whatever, particularly if it hasn't happened. A lot of documents are declassified once the operation has already taken place. That's gonna come into play. They're gonna have to look at every single one of those documents. Remember, they found thousands of documents?
Yeah, boxes just sitting
Exactly,
in
but
his
think
living
about
room.
it.
Just sitting in his
There's
living
only
room.
37 that they kept. You know what that meant? Out of all those documents, only 37 of them were still hot documents, meaning that they still had a validity to them, whatever, if it was top secret or whatever, or secret, or confidential. But when they do that, it's one of those things that they keep on opening up a can of worms, and I'm by no reason trying to protect former President Trump. What I'm saying is that when you open that can of worms, don't shoot at somebody. What's those saying on the street? If you shoot at me, you better kill me.
Absolutely.
And what Trump's gonna do, if you miss him now, there's a lot of people that are middle of the road that are they fucking with him. He's already got the far right vote. You're gonna start pushing people in the middle towards him. There's a lot of people, black, that are disenchanted with Biden. So why make this guy powerful? If you're not gonna kill him, don't shoot at him.
I thought they found those documents that Trump had in the bathroom.
Yeah, at his house.
There's in the bathroom
He
at
was
his
in the
house.
bathroom. Some was in the living room.
He was taking
Yeah.
a shit with. It's like, yo, I don't care about this fucking. Yeah,
Nah,
the
what
dude
he was
is a
doing
real.
is-
He different.
He was going over the stuff they would breed on. Let me go look at.
Why you in the bathroom?
Yeah, because it's a document. It's a briefing on what's going to occur. There could have been a bombing run they're going to do in Iraq at 2 a.m. So you're looking over it, taking your dupe or whatever, and you're not like I'm not saying I'm not protecting him and not saying he wasn't wrong, but they're acting like this shit doesn't happen.
literally
does.
shit. Yeah, I feel you. I mean, it's gonna make all this is doing is making Trump more and more popular. And if Trump, and to be honest with you, if Trump, when he runs for president again, he's beat every case. He's becoming a Teflon Don.
Yeah.
And he don't. It's to the point where he's just realizing like it don't even matter like if it's black or white with it no more. It's just like they don't like him because he is going against the grain and he don't give a fuck. And that's why they really don't like him because he's arrogant and he don't care. Because he's telling the secrets.
So it's not the fact that he's committed crimes. That had nothing to do with
They
it.
love that. It's America. This is America.
Well, you saying,
Idolize gangsters.
well, we're talking about the they you're talking about, not the ones who are supporting him. You're saying why they're going after him. I'm saying it's like you're minimizing the fact that he committed crimes.
I mean, most people commit crimes.
What?
Most people
I can't give you
commit
an amen on
crimes.
that one.
Most people have committed a crime. Everyone in here has committed a crime.
I can't give you an amen on that one.
Everyone in here has done something illegal. You never read a stop sign?
We talk.
That's a crime.
We get way
right?
off
You never
topic.
stole
Not
candy?
a crime. It's a traffic offense.
It's a crime, right? It's against the law. It's
Traffic
against the
offense.
law.
It's not. But we're talking about.
You never stole nothing?
We're talking about criminal. This dude is a criminal, man.
Well, Lo can't say these two over here can't talk about that.
Oh, yeah.
And they keep putting their head down when I say
Hey,
it.
man, we had a
Hold
class.
on, let's ask
Hey,
the way.
dog,
Have you ever committed a crime,
Hey.
mister? I grew up in Atlanta.
Hey,
Hold on,
we had a
there's no
class.
crime in Atlanta.
Hey, bro,
Until New
we had a
Yorkers came to
class.
Atlanta.
We had a class on it last
2
week.
days ago.
Straight class.
We had a
He taught me
class
something.
on
He taught
committing
me something
on
last
stealing
week. I
last
used
week.
it
We had a
already.
class on it.
On
Right?
stealing?
Yeah, on
In
stealing
here?
last week. Yeah.
Oh, this was the show last week about stealing? Like
It
stealing
wasn't,
what?
but-
It
No,
turned into it anyway.
On
yeah.
Spotify? Oh,
Go back
good.
and watch it on Spotify.
Yeah,
That's right.
y'all
There
go
you go.
back.
Watch it on Spotify, YouTube, but this
if
is
you're trying
America.
to get something from Racetrack and Walmart, anywhere they have a self-checkout, check out our episode last week on Spotify. We'll show you how to get.
I
We'll
don't see
show you
how
how to
people
get it
do
done.
that. How embarrassed are you gonna be trying to steal something that's $5 and they ain't playing the radio no more because
You got watch the show last week. It wasn't a whole lot of embarrassment in here.
Yo, you never just be like, yo, oh shit, I forgot.
I'm sorry, I'm gonna pay.
Yo, I just be like, yo, I forgot I got
If
the
I
money in
put
my
it
pocket.
in
My
my
bad.
What a whole
If
lot
I
of
put
it.
it in my pocket, I'm gonna pay for it.
Yeah. It's $5, but I mean, it was
Imagine telling your
$55.
kids, Daddy in jail. Yeah, I was stealing a Snicker bar. Come on.
Come on, y'all telling me you never went to self-checkout and been like, oops, oh, it ain't scanned, put it in the bag.
Never.
You're a cop. But yo, listen, anybody, yo,
Hey, again,
Never.
Go check it out last week. You'll
Word.
see how many did it. Some people was commenting about it. Yeah, there's a lot of people.
y'all
doing
stole
that.
from Chick-fil-A the other day.
Yeah, that's kind of easy to do right
You
now.
see, so where we go? We committing crimes.
Yeah,
They
it's
gave
kinda
me an
easy to
extra
do.
set of food, and I just took it.
Yeah.
That's stealing. Chick-fil-A. That was a gift?
That was a gift.
Oh, okay. I'm telling the truth. Everybody in America commits a crime 'cause we got too many laws.
Okay.
Go Trump. How low you miss me? How low you?
I'm just saying, we're talking about the guy that's sitting in the highest office of the land, and he's made the country look horrible.
Or look like the country does look.
And it's not the fact of these documents, guys. It's what's in those documents. This man has shown collusion with Russia. There's people in these documents. He's allowed these spies to be known what their whereabouts. He's given up these documents are setting Americans up for death. I mean, these aren't just some regular documents that you just read in the bathroom, bro. This guy has documents in there that leaves this country that we're supposed to so-called love vulnerable to Russians and other agencies, man. That's what these
yeah,
documents.
but-
That's
but I
what
mean,
these
yeah,
documents
documents
are
but
they
involved
was
in.
in his bathroom.
These aren't just regular documents.
But they was in his bathroom.
If they fell,
They were all over the
exactly,
house, but they
were in
found
his
that-
house.
But they in his house.
And he's got
What do you
Secret
mean
The
it
Service.
was-
Russians was coming to Trump house.
Yes, there's a female Russian spy who's bro. You need to look up on this stuff, man. Do all this talking.
All right.
I'm telling you, this junk is more dangerous than y'all giving it credit for.
All right.
This is way more dangerous than y'all giving it credit for. This dude has left this country vulnerable he has so many interaction with this Russian government. It's not even funny.
Well, him and Putin are boys.
That's what I'm trying. They are. That's the point.
Right.
That's the point. So these aren't just regular documents, man. These aren't how the mail is running. You know what I'm saying? These we talking about some stuff that leaves people vulnerable.
So you don't think that then
Leaves this
if him
country
and
vulnerable.
Leaves the
Putin,
country vulnerable.
if him and Putin are boys, right? You don't think that then that's kind of a good thing that they boys because then Putin gonna calm down? Cause that's his
they're
homie.
not boys.
Cause when Putin,
They're not boys.
they boys. That's his homeboy. That's his homie, right? That's his homie. He bring him Russian chicks. The Russian spy, I bet you she was bad.
She wasn't.
Come on, what's her name? Olga what?
They never are.
Russians they got some good looking Russians. No, Russians are good looking. They got some good looking Russians. Like I'm talking about bad Russians.
All right, we don't went way off.
Go to Brighton Beach in Brooklyn, and I'll tell you change your whole mindset.
Yeah, I knew we was gonna get back there.
Huh?
I knew we was gonna get back there. I knew where you were going.
Brighton Beach, you've been there, right? They
knew
call
you
it
were.
Russian paradise.
Yeah.
I used to sit on the beach like I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna talk about it.
All right, as a cop, this was something for you, man. I don't know if y'all remember the guy that was injured and became paralyzed in the back of a police van, and the guy was driving, hit the brakes, dude fell over, hit his neck, became paralyzed. Well, they had him handcuffed and everything. They took him out. I mean, they moved him around. He was already broke his neck or whatever. They moved him out of the van, put him in jail, all this type of stuff. Well, they actually came to an agreement. $45 million is going to be offered to the guy. His name is Richard Randy Cox. It was June of 2022. The officers were fired. Policies and procedures were supposed to be rewritten. But a settlement like that, from what you know, where does a settlement like that come from?
Oh, Atlanta has it, and every major city has it. They have tort insurance. They have insurance policies that take care of that.
Does anything come from the officers if they're not fired?
No, it doesn't happen, and unless that's why when an attorney sues, it's a way they do. It's a deep pockets theory. The officer's there, but if they're ultimately going for the mayor, then the police chief, then the deputy chief, and whoever's in his chain of command, because they know they can't get any money from the officer. So but the thing that helps where the city has to pay out, as long as the officer was carrying out his appointed duties, you can injure somebody, and if he didn't violate any rules or regulations that would put him outside the scope of their SOPs, the city has to pay out on it. And then when you're talking about if he's going to be charged, he's covered under a thing called the color of law, meaning that you couldn't expect officers to police if they didn't think, like say if they accidentally cuffing somebody, break his wrist, the guy slips, falls, breaks his neck. It's a sad situation. The city might have to pay his family because it happened when he was in custody, but the officer was carrying out his appointed duties. He just put the cuff on wrong or whatever, and he slipped. That kind of stuff is covered. The only time an officer is held liable individually is when he blatantly just totally disregards SOP. If SOP says you're not allowed to cuff a person to a fixed object, the officer does, the person hangs himself or something like that. That's the kind of stuff where they can go after him criminally and also civilly liable.
So is that qualified immunity? Is that where?
Yeah, qualified immunity counts if he's carrying out his lawful duties in a proper manner and a death results from that. He's not going to be civilly liable by himself. When officers are starting to be found civilly liable is when, good example, false arrest. SOPs tell you not to arrest somebody if you don't follow the law. Like say if I lock you up for jaywalking, and it's clearly I knew you weren't jaywalking, I said you're going to jail for something, I'll charge your ass for jaywalking. I call you across the street, you cross the street jaywalking, and I cuffed you. That's an example how an officer could be held civilly liable himself.
But those lawsuits happen all the time, though. Like, cats be winning lawsuits back in the city all the time.
What happens with the city, and I disagree with it, but I understand why. If somebody sues Lowe for an arrest he made, and he broke the guy's wrist, well, the guy said it was police brutality, there wasn't enough evidence to overturn it or not. Rather than spend 200 man hours, attorney hours where the city's paying out $200,000, they'll give that guy $25,000 to go
Yeah,
away.
it's a check.
It happens all the time.
Yeah, they give
You
you,
get a
like-
check. Yeah, it's cheaper to pay you $25,000 or $10,000 or $5,000 to go away.
Like unlawful arrest and all these things that happen, they get a check if that
Well,
gets
it's-
thrown out. They've been getting checks.
Does that cover it under the insurance also?
No,
Stuff
that's
like that.
normally the city's got money. The city just pays those checks, just pays it out. The big ones, when you get hit with 25 million, 44 million, that's when they do it. Some cities can still pay it out. But the issue with that is that I think if they start holding officers more personally accountable, it would work to an extent, but then it'll also make it where officers will stop taking chances.
What do you mean when you say personally accountable?
Well, if you're personally liable for your actions, and you just can't invoke the color of law, and you had to prove it that you were acting in the court under the color of law, then I think you'd have, in a good way, a lot of the dumb shit would stop. But it would also make it in a negative way where officers would say, "It's a gray area. I'm not gonna act." I see that guy down the alley. Certain times at night, if it's 2:30 in the morning, and you see a guy in that alley, there's been 4 or 5 robbers in that area. That's a Terry stop all day long. That's a proper stop. It's been proven
Yeah, I
through
ain't Terry
case law that you can go and investigate. If you can name the crime that you think's going to be occurring, it's in the same situation or in a similar situation, you're allowed to investigate. But a lot of there's so many young officers, they're not going to be comfortable enough to make that police move, so they're just going to ignore it. He keeps on going. Now, you and your wife left the Fox, you walk by that alley, the guy runs out, robs you, or shoots you. Now, the officer didn't do anything wrong, but he could have avoided it by simply just making an investigative stop.
They run out of rob. I'm calling 63. I'm saying that a lot. 63.
Let me read this real quick before we go to break. 'Cause I know you're about to go to bed, so he wrote it.
Yeah, okay.
I gotta go to bed too. It's past my bedtime.
He said, "Your guy 45 was a worthless excuse of a human. As Putin, he's a Putin-elected president. He is already recorded as the worst president in 100 years. He is the slime that slime avoid. He is a narcissistic, compulsive liar. He is a modern-day Nero. He lies on his lies. Worse, his moron cult followers continue to drink the Kool-Aid. He stole the documents for profit." Facts.
Profit?
Profit.
Oh, he
The
gangsta.
government can account for 42 SCI documents as of today. No president or vice president are allowed to depart with actual ongoing SCI information. He should have been arrested the moment he refused to return the documents. Keep that in mind. And that's what those charges are based on. 42 are still missing. 42 documents are still missing. So he's long been impatient with the justices for not doing their job. Had it been Obama, well, you know the rest.
Yeah.
Funny, Obama name hadn't came up for missing documents. It's not one. All are authorized certain classified documents. They must be accounted for and properly stored. Trump stole what he wanted. As George said, we don't know what his evil criminal butt is doing. Flush down the toilet. Because, remember they're in the bathroom, right, Sean? According to plumber's accounts, many were classified documents that were flushed down the toilet. He should have been arrested. Yeah, he flushed them down the toilet.
He's in the bathroom.
He should have been arrested while in office just for that. He is filth, he is scum, he is vile, he is a walking elephant. You fill in the blank. He should be under prison at Leavenworth.
He hate him.
All right, I'm going to give you what he wrote on mine.
Oh, so he ran out of
Unc said,
How to cat
in
letters.
addition, the worthless tub of whale fat extorted Ukraine, kissed
Damn.
Putin's ass,
Damn.
sucked up to insane Kim, bent it over for the Saudis, punked out to China, and my favorite, he was laughed at by all of our allies. This pig vomit of a human is an insult to pig vomit humans. This wobbling fart bag should do one good thing
Fart bag.
for once in his life and end his. All right, and with that, y'all.
Damn.
I know you said you was going to
Pig
bed.
vomit.
Good night, and we'll be right back.
pig vomit.
You know, you never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. Classic Conversations with JT and Low. Classic conversations with JT and Load. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. Classic conversations with JT and Load. You never know which way the rhetoric. Classic conversations with JT and Load.